Hello and welcome to the channel. I want to preface everything with saying that I don't have any professional experience in the creative realm. I don't have a pedigree, I don't have a name for myself, never done any gigs or even shown any of my VFX or any kind of 3D modeling to anyone in a professional capacity. And very limited personal experience in half of what I'm about to talk about today. So, what I'd like to do is share a growth experience in real time from a real beginner taking hobbies to the next level. This thought alone to try and make something out of a hobby and potentially put my work out into the public is very daunting. So I figured that if I'm having this sort of reaction to that, then others might as well. There are plenty of folks who have been in this business for a very long time. They've built names for themselves on this platform alone, have a plethora of videos on how to get started on a hobby or a skill. However, what I hope to accomplish with this channel is a little bit different. I hope to share the personal and possibly mutual struggles one might encounter when trying to make a hobby lucrative or make it a career right now, and without any prior connections or experiences. Now, with the preamble out of the way, what exactly will the content of this channel consist of? Oh, I plan on venturing down my own personal journey with two specific hobbies: music, mostly guitar in the metal realm, but in general, as well as video editing and VFX, mostly cinematography in general, and how I've grown and evolved since I began. So with that, almost 14 years ago, I got my first guitar. It was a $90 Amazon special, and I had zero clue what I was getting into. I was especially unaware of the incredibly difficult and at times debilitating journey I was about to begin. I had no teacher or tutor or anything other than myself and YouTube videos, and no clue about the inner workings of guitar at all when I started out. Through that, though, I knew about 2 years in that I wanted to become an impeccable guitarist. I spent a lot of my late teen years studying my favorite guitarist, but I wasn't practicing properly or efficiently. It took up until about 3 years ago to realize I had to change that. I had to take a drastic yet realistic approach towards my abilities. Since then, I've been slowly breaking my bad habits and techniques, and introducing the proper way to do things, and just overall getting better and having a healthier way of approaching guitar. Even though life seems to kind of get in the way occasionally, more often than not, the passion is still there. It's especially difficult to pursue a hobby or hobbies when it seems like life is persisting to get in the way. And that's a common theme between my passion for guitar and for VFX. Growing up, I was exposed to a plethora of 1980s and 1990s movies while watching new releases as they came out. From an early age, I became enthralled with the movie making and storytelling process. In mythology class, I was able to write my first short story, and though my writing skills were extremely poor, I was hooked on being able to tell a story through imagery and detail, something I was far more adept at using visuals rather than words. In middle school, I even attempted to produce a few short films of the zombie survival variety. I then found that VFX and cinematography in general had become so accessible to everyday folks and fueled a passion I had long since given up on. With the reemergence of this hobby, I was beyond fortunate to have a very close friend of mine invest into my creative abilities. So much so that the very camera that I'm using to record this video with was actually a gift from that friend. As a disclaimer, though, to the principal of this channel, I have not been given any professional contacts or advice, as they are also not a professional. Just a fellow enthusiast that I've had the immense pleasure to know and wanted to give a very heartfelt shout out to. Now, why two hobbies? Why not focus my frankly limited energy on one subject? I'm really glad you maybe asked that question. The easy answer is that I am simply passionate about both of these subjects. However, I also firmly believe that one doesn't necessarily have to know the exact details of one's life. What they want for a career, what they want for a car down the road, especially for younger folks getting ready to leave high school. I hope to evolve into a place where I might be able to pursue both of these hobbies, even if just one of them becomes a career. It is one of my many hopes that someone out there can take something out of this channel, even if it's just inspiration to do their own thing that doesn't have anything to do with movie making or music, and just run with it. I've become very, very tired of being told one way or another that you can't do that. Oh, you like making props in movies? That's not going to make you any money. You gotta go to college. You gotta go to the military. You gotta do something that everyone else is doing. And I got tired of it. And I'm sure that most of you are either tired of it too, or feeling stuck into this treadmill that seems like the entirety of society is on, to just go to college, get a general business degree, and then still end up at a job that you don't enjoy and you don't want to make a career out of, and leaves you no room to grow. And at home, maybe drawing, maybe trying to do cinematography to some extent, learning an instrument, and feeling like that's all it's ever going to amount to. And that's where I was for a very long time, but it just took a little push from a very close friend of mine, and a few other acquaintances throughout my life of, just keep going, you'll get it. It's very easy to get set in this cycle of, I'll do it tomorrow. Or, like next week I'll finally learn that solo that I've been really wanting to learn. Or, tomorrow and the next day I'll put up a YouTube video for a channel that I want to blow up to 1 million subscribers or something. I hope that I can provide even just a little bit of proof in the long run that anybody can pick up a hobby, and if they are genuinely passionate with it, then they can shoot for the stars. And my goal with that specific message isn't necessarily to say, hey, follow me and we'll, it's just 10 easy steps and you'll become a rock star on stage, or that you'll be producing movies that are being shown at the box office, or anything like that. I can't guarantee that. I can't even guarantee that for myself. But what I can say is that hopefully for me and for the rest of you as well, just starting with this video and becoming consistent with this channel, that maybe in a few years I'll have my first album out, or EP, or that maybe in 5 to 10 years I'll have my first short film out, or at least be a part of the process of a short film coming out. And that in itself should be an immense accomplishment, especially from the perspective of, if you're like me, just sitting in this chair, not knowing what they're about to get into or what is to come. This should be a huge milestone. So with that, I plan on an alternating upload schedule where I upload videos, say, about music, and then the next one is entailing VFX or cinematography in some way, shape, or form. As it stands, though, despite everything I just got done saying, my upload schedule will unfortunately be fairly sporadic, as my life is currently the same, very turbulent. I do have plans in place to get to a better, more stable position in my life relatively soon. It should be by the end of this year, 2025. And with that, that should result in a more permanent and constant upload schedule. The good news with that, though, is that I will be able to see what any of you may want out of this channel in the meantime. Any questions or suggestions that you may have, please leave them in the comments, and I will do everything I can to have them addressed. Luckily, this is a small channel. Currently, at the time of publishing this video, I will have 0 views and 0 subscribers. So, should be relatively easy, at least coming out of the gate, for me to respond as quickly as I can and as accurately as I can. And if I don't have an answer for a question, I will do what I can to find the answer, or find out what the process is to get that answer, and if it's significant enough where it would require a decent amount of feedback, then I'll throw a video up for it. It's kind of in between my typical scheduling. So with that, thank you all so much for watching. Anybody that is ready to take a next step in whatever journey that they have for any kind of creative arts, I can't wait to see what we're all capable of achieving. Thank you so much.